Hi, this is Steve Miller. I'm in my office in Seattle, and you know what? It's only 12 days from IMTS 2008, and this is going to be your final cool tip of the week before we go to the show. We'll have one more after the show is over with, but for right now, this is your last one before the show. We've been doing these cool tips now every week ever since the exhibitor workshop back in February, so over 6 months worth of cool tips every single week, hoping to help you get the most out of your investment of time, money, and staffers and energy and everything like that, because this is a significant investment for you. Hope that you've been reading all of the cool tips. Hope they've helped you so far. And this final cool tip, I decided to do a video one because I think it's really, really important, and that is to really talk about the attitude that you and your staffers have going into IMTS 2008. And it boils down to a real simple philosophy of mine. And that is that the attitude that you have going into the show is going to have a huge impact on the result that you end up with after the show is over with. And you want to talk to yourself and to your staffers about keeping their attitude up and positive for going into the show. Let me talk to you. Let me show you exactly what I'm talking about here. See, when we talk about attitude, think about whether you have a good attitude about going to the show, a bad attitude about going to the show. Do you think trade shows are really, really great marketing tools, sales tools, or do you think trade shows are not very good marketing tools or sales tools? But whatever you think, your attitude is going to have an impact on what your expectation will be for what you're going to get out of IMTS 2008. And then your expectation is going to have an impact over how you act at the show. And then how you act at the show is going to have an impact over the types of results that you're going to get out of the show. So let's start at the top. Let's say that you have a really bad attitude about going to the show. Well, your bad attitude is going to say, okay, I don't think trade shows aren't worth it. So my expectations will be very, very low. I don't expect for people to, I don't expect to get leads. I don't expect to get sales. I don't expect to have quality conversations with people. And so therefore, my actions are going to reinforce that. If I don't think that something is going to work, well, guess what? I'm going to act probably like it's not going to work. And from that, my results will reflect how my actions are. Now, here's the big kicker. See, the big kicker is that no matter what your attitude is, your expectation is, your actions are, and your results are, they are going to ultimately go back and reflect upon your attitude again. So in other words, they are going to reinforce how you think about the show. If you go into the show thinking you're going to have a great show and you pull out all the stops to that you have the measurable objectives we've talked about, and that you have put together action steps and plans and preparation for getting those expectations, those objectives, well, then your results will probably speak for themselves, and that will reinforce what your attitude is. On the other, vice versa, if you go in with a bad attitude and your expectations are very low, and so therefore your actions are going to be, well, I'm not going to get anything out of this, so I might as well not really put in a lot to it, well, then your results are going to come back out with low results. And guess what? That's going to go back and reinforce what your original attitude is. You're going to say, see, I told you I had a bad show because I knew I was going to have a bad show. All right? So don't you do that. Don't you and your staffers do that. You go into the show with high expectations, great attitude, and make sure that your action steps and your actionables and the way you're acting in your booth reflects all of that. You'll have a great show. The results will speak for themselves. I'll see you in Chicago. I'll be walking the aisles with my little handy-dandy camera, digital camera. So if you see me walking along, make sure you're a good example because I'll be taking your picture. So see you in Chicago in just 12 days, and I'll talk to you again after the show is over with.